Okay, right in front of us there is the Queen Victoria Market. I think it should be closing down pretty soon, but George has a cousin that works there, so we might pop by and say hi to his cousin Ronnie. If we don't stop by Ronnie, it looked like it was like totally closed. I think he's on this side. There it is. Queen Victoria Market.
Red light camera ahead.
Yep, it's closed.
Oh, it's all done. Okay, we just went past the Queen Victoria Market and we are rolling past all the trams in Melbourne City. Okay, now to the right, we're going to be going through Carlton and Melbourne University. On the right, yes. Another tram, they're everywhere. Okay, that's the University of Melbourne. I don't know if you can see the sign up there on top. Okay, we're heading back into the city now. We're just out on a little drive through Melbourne City. This is what
red light camera ahead.
This is what young people do. Wow, that's a pretty building.
Yeah.
Okay, we're heading toward Carlton, right, George?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that building is really wild, aren't they? Goodbye, Morrison. That was a picture of Morrison. By the way, we just had our election, and bye-bye, Morrison. Hello, Prime Minister Elbow. This is a famous souvlaki shop here. George used to go here in the 80s and 90s. It's right here on the corner. And this is the famous Lygon Street. And that restaurant over there, that Thai restaurant, we've spent many, many times eating there. These are all restaurants, by the way. Same thing over here. I think with COVID too, a lot of these restaurants have, it's just row after row of restaurants. This is a great place to hang out. This is an authentic Egyptian restaurant. So there's everything here. Every country is represented. I used to like that Thai restaurant back there. They had these little teapots that were shaped like elephants with elephant glasses. Yes, we're still on Lygon Street. It's blocks and blocks of restaurants. As you can see by the trees, this is autumn and you'll see the leaves are falling here. We're about ready to go into winter, but it feels like winter today. There we go. I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to try and move the camera. That's government housing in Melbourne from the 60s. Oh, there we go. Didn't a lot of the new migrants move in there when you were a young kid?
Yeah. And they're still there from Africa and Afghanistan. Plus each.
Okay, these are 2 million plus each. Back in the 50s and 60s, when the Greeks first came, a lot of the Greeks lived in these.
The poorest people.
The poorest people lived here, in the Italians, and now they're worth $2 million and more. Australians bring Assange home. Okay, right now we're back on Lygon Street, heading back into the city for a different view. As you can see on the left and on the right, restaurant after restaurant. Usually they have, do you call those hawkers out front?
Yeah, street hawkers. Street
hawkers trying to get you to come in and eat. I'm sure there's many places like this in New York and Chicago and London. Wow, for this time of the day, it's pretty crowded. It's a pretty autumn day here on Carlton Street.
Lygon Street.
Sorry, we're in Carlton on Lygon Street. Duh. Okay, once we get past these lights, we're going to enter into the city. You can already see the tall buildings. And we're just trying to give you an overview on our little escapade around the city today.
We're meant to be walking off our burgers. But
we're supposed to be walking.
But we're driving them off.
We're driving them off. We're trying to get in our 10,000 steps driving. Right. Oh, there we go. There's some new buildings there. Heading toward Federation Square, which is famous in Melbourne. We've been to Federation Square before and made videos, but it's been a real long time. Before COVID. We're in the city now. $12 flat rate for parking. That's pretty good. And just like every other big city, parking is always the issue. So it's best to take the train from where we live and then just hop on and off trams. That's the best way to do it.
And the trams are free in the city center.
Yeah, so you can have free trams. But I think it's a lot better than driving your car here. I like taking the train. Mainly because I didn't get to do that growing up, just when I was a little kid. Okay, we're heading toward Fitzroy, which would be sort of like Old Town in Chicago or Greenwich Village in New York. Okay, we're entering East Melbourne right now. And you can see some of the cathedrals here on the right that a lot of the tourists come and visit, including us. We've been in these many times. Before COVID, we used to come here to the city and visit quite often, but we haven't been here since COVID. One of the things that a lot of people don't know about Melbourne, and this was something that really surprised me when I was first reading about the city and about the culture, the Australian culture, that all the shopping centers, they call, or malls, they close at 5 o'clock, except on Thursday and Friday they stay open till 9. But if you go shopping, you got to be finished by 9. Oh, here's one of the famous
St. Patrick's.
St. Patrick's. Did you see how many trams there are here? Wild, huh? Okay, Winnie, we see ACU, where you're gonna come and get your PhD. We're getting close to it here. We're close to Fitzroy. Just making this so you can see your new home. We're on Brunswick Street, Fitzroy. There's your uni, Winnie. We're thinking about you. Okay, we're on the famous Brunswick Street in Fitzroy. Oh yes, this is... heart of Fitzroy. Right here is the heart of Fitzroy, and one of our favorite restaurants here called the Veggie Bar. It's Madam Saigon. Graffiti everywhere here. You can see on all the buildings. This is one of my favorite places to come. Again, another problem is the parking, so it's best to take the train from where we live. Okay, back here on Brunswick Street. Oh, that's a great restaurant right there. China Bar and Afghan. Here's another vegan style, Vietnamese vegan. And we're getting really close to one of our favorite places. It's coming up here. It'll be on the right. It's called the Veggie Bar. So if you come here, you'll have to go to this place right here in the corner. Can you see it? That's called the Veggie Bar. That's our favorite. We used to come afterward to Boys and Girls, which are right next door. Sort of like the takeaway part of Veggie. We used to hang out here. It's closed now. They have a new location of donut time.
Yeah.
They had vegan donuts. Love Lord of the Fries. Here's Veggie Bar. Yay, so cool. There used to be another one of our favorite restaurants. It was raw food. It was called Young's. It should be here on the left coming up. I don't know if because of COVID people got bored, but just like Athens has graffiti everywhere. If you can look, all the buildings have graffiti. And we just saw that one of our favorite restaurants, Young's, is for sale, so it must have been affected by the COVID. We didn't know it had closed down. Oh, that's sad. Believe it or not, all these little houses that you see are worth $2 and $3 million now in the city. Okay, all these little houses.
Grapes.
They're growing grapes. Do you believe it? Some of them are even worth $5 million.
Yeah, between 2 and 5 each.
Each little spot here in the city.
And in the 50s and 60s, it's where the poorest people in Australia lived.
We're in Fitzroy now, and there's one after another. For those of you that didn't know, those were called row houses. Okay, heading back into the city again. Back in the old days, this was Nicholson Street, and it was all the Italians that came here. There's a huge Italian and Greek population. Outside of Athens, Melbourne has the largest Greek population in the world, outside of Athens. This is Johnson Street, and this is famous for Spanish restaurants. Latino restaurantes. For you that live in Illinois, doesn't this remind you of Chicago, all these different areas? It reminds me a lot of Chicago in many ways. Okay, we're in Fitzroy, Brunswick Street. You'll start to see the really eccentric looking
Vegan supermarket.
Vegan supermarket. All the hippies and the vegans. This is where they
Artists
live.
The
a lot
bohos.
of artists, the bohos. Okay, now we're on another famous street, Smith Street in Collingwood. And this is one of our very most favorite pizza shops that we're going to go to for tonight, called Red Sparrow. It's a vegan pizza shop. Dan Murphy's is our chain liquor stores here in Australia. They're everywhere, almost in every suburb. Hotel Collingwood. This is also the gay capital of Melbourne, where we're at right now. Okay.
Smith Street, Collingwood.
Movies frequently mentioned on the web include Star Wars, Episode 4, A New Hope, Spider-Man, No Way Home, The Dark Knight, and others.
We are in the heart of Collingwood. This is where you see very interesting things. It does remind me a lot of Old Town. If you come to Melbourne, gay or not gay, you have to come to this place. It's called Shag. You have to experience it. Shag. I don't know if you're watching at all, Derek. My friend Derek is a performer. And even if you're not a performer, you've got to visit this place when you come to Melbourne. It's very interesting. Okay, I'm going to finish the video now. We're off to Red Sparrow Pizza. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share with your friends. And don't forget to visit Shag. Okay, we're in Melbourne in the city, and we are just rolling down the road.
Not just any road, this is the road that leads to the famous Crown Casino in Melbourne on the right.
Oh yeah, here's the famous Crown Casino. Oh, that's what we could do next. Do a spontaneous Crown visit.
You mean not plan it?
No, just spontaneous. Okay, there are the trams, and we just saw those scooters that are everywhere in the big cities now. There goes a tram in the middle of Melbourne. Yes, we are having a good time at the South Melbourne Market today. Everything in the city here reminds me of Chicago, except for the trams. Oh yeah, the trams. That's one of the newer buildings straight ahead. Oh, we're in Melbourne in the city. There's the Yarra River. Okay, we're on the famous Spencer Street, and we're coming up to Southern Cross Station, famous in Melbourne, the Southern Cross Station. And the trains, it's huge. Lots of trains coming and going. That's the Spencer Outlet Center for all you gals. And here is the Southern Cross Station. Where would you like to go today on the train, George?
Mildura, the warmest place in the state.
I think we'll get on a train and go to Mildura and get out of this cold weather. Okay, for those of you that don't know, the Southern Cross Station is the interstate train station that takes you out of Melbourne into like country areas and things like that. It ends right here. It takes you anywhere you want in Australia. You can go to other states if you want to go to Darwin, and also right here, this building is so beautiful. I don't know if you guys can see this. Trying to film like George. Oh, Oh, George, you're rubbing off on me. Okay.
That guy's got a disco next door.
We're just riding around the city.
Aimlessly.
Aimlessly. This is called just having a spontaneous drive around the city. Okay, Brett in London, if you're watching, we're doing this one for you. You love aimlessly wandering around new cities. So we're making this video for you, Brett. Here's a theater restaurant that's been here for 40 years in Melbourne, Brett. It's called Witches and Bitches.
Britches.
Oh, I thought it said, oh, sorry, Britches. Okay, Winnie, we're in your old neighborhood. We're coming by another one of our favorite restaurants here.
We're in Richmond.
Yeah, we're in Richmond, Winnie. Oh, your old neighborhood. And Loving Hut should be coming up.
Oh, wow,
This looks like a new place called Abbott Yards. Maybe it was here before. We haven't been here since COVID started, but Winnie, you probably would be familiar. I'm not sure, but it looks like all kinds of pop-up food trucks. Abbott Yards. I have to investigate. Okay, we're on Chapel Street, Church Street, here in
Richmond. More government housing.
More government housing.
From the 60s.
From the 60s. This is Church Street, which turns into Chapel Street, which is in South Yarra. I think that's where you lived, Winnie, didn't you? You were more in South Yarra. In the 60s and 70s, this used to be 100% Greek, and now it's all Vietnamese here. It's interesting how it changes over the years. Okay, up ahead is South Yarra. There's the Yarra River that goes through there, that's famous in Melbourne. Anyway, I'm going to close the video, or stop the video, not close it, and wish you a wonderful day from George and Kim in the city in Melbourne. Have a great day. Bye. Okay, we're right off the Yarra River here. Goodbye, Richmond. Hello, Yarra.
South Yarra.
South Yarra as we cross this road. Changes, changes, changes. Chapel. Big W, Woolworths, and a mall. Holy moly. We're in the heart here. This road is the road that goes to Toorak, one of the exclusive suburbs of Melbourne.
Chapel Street.
Chapel Street. This is another famous street.
Takes us all the way to St Kilda.
Oh yeah. We're on our way to St Kilda. Veg out, positive eating. Okay, another place where we like to go as we cross this road. We are leaving South Yarra and we're going into Prahran.
Check out the Taco Bell.
Oh wow, Taco Bell. That's cool. We used to like to go to this vegan place in Prahran. Wow,
it's a little bit noisier than back home.
This is the city. Reminds me of Honolulu. We would hear that all the time in Honolulu, and it always reminded me of my grandpa Chick.
Welcome to city life.
That's city life. Okay, it looks like we're in Prahran. And that tram's going back to North Richmond in the city.
Oh, there's more fire trucks on their way.
Wow. Wow, look at that florist. It's too dark probably to see it now, but it is loaded with plants.
No, it's working fine.
We're almost in Windsor. We're in the bar district of Windsor, and one of our favorite places that's open all night, Lord of the Fries. It's a vegan kind of McDonald's-y kind of burger joint. Sometimes in the middle of the night we would come here and hang out, and we've had some good times. Op shops are everywhere here for you op shop lovers. This is the heart of Op Shopville. Okay, we just passed the Astor Theater, which is the heart of St. Kilda East. Can you see how many exciting places there are to discover? I mean, we haven't even touched the surface.
Not even a tenth.
Not even a tenth. So...
But London's the same.
Yeah, London's the same. Chicago is the same. New York is the same. Okay, I think we're gonna...
St. Kilda's at the bottom of the hill.
Okay, we'll go to the bottom of the hill and then we'll call her quits. Okay, before St. Kilda is
Balaclava.
Oh, balaclava. I wanted to say baklava. Balaclava.
You need to have your carrot cake. You need sugar.
I need some sugar. This is the heart of the Jewish community. This is where all the Israelis have made their home here in Melbourne. George just corrected me. They're not Israelis. They're not from Israel. They're Jews from Europe.
Poland, Germany, Romania, Hungary, Russia, etc.
That's who is here.
European Jews.
European Jews.
Before Israel was formed.
Not Israelis. The people that settled here came in the 20s. And 30s, and Israel wasn't established until what, 1948, George? Yeah. So yes, they're everywhere, the trams. The St. Kilda Town Hall. Look at how pretty it is. Okay, we're in St. Kilda. You can tell by the palm trees. This famous St. Kilda Beach, the Palais, Ackland Street cake shops. And here is one of our favorite places to go and have a roller coaster ride. Luna Park. You can see all the palm trees. Okay, this is Luna Park, famous in Melbourne. I think there's a video on my Facebook of us on the roller coaster here. Okay. It's over 100-year-old wooden roller coaster.
120.
120-year-old? Okay. Wow. And it's open right now. And you can always tell. Oh, okay, there's some more kids up there. You always tell that you're at the beach with all these palm trees.
We just made it to the beach before it got dark.
Yeah. Maybe we'll go do our walking here and finish off with our dessert. Okay guys, we're going to finish off here at St. Kilda, and till we meet again, see you later. Sunset at St. Kilda. Moon Park looks so cool. I had to film this at night. Okay, we are entering the famous Acland Street. You've probably seen pictures of this over the years when George and I used to go to the cake shops. Okay, this is the famous Acland Street of St. Kilda. And I'm going to try and let you see some of the cake shops that are famous here. Okay, there's one. They're all along here. They're like amazing. Another tram.